Turning now to the war in Ukraine. The search for survivors continues in the western Ukrainian city of Ternopil after a deadly Russian drone and missile attack. The strike hit an apartment block Wednesday morning. Ukrainian officials say at least 26 people were killed, including 3 children. Nearly 24 people remain missing. The bombardment coincided with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to Turkey, aimed at reviving peace talks with Russia. And we're looking now at some live pictures of the damage in Ternopil. You can see there some of the rubble and some of the recovery crews trying to do their work as people assess the damage from this deadly incident. And there are reports that the United States and Russia have drafted a plan that would see the end of the war in Ukraine. Crystal Gumansing has been looking into this and joins us with more from London. Crystal, what can you tell us about this latest proposal aimed at some kind of peace?
Well, Linda, it is obviously generating a lot of talk across Europe, in North America, and of course in Ukraine, given those strikes that we just saw yesterday. We have heard Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying continuously that peace is the #1 priority for Ukraine. But interestingly, as there's a lot of media reports citing unnamed sources from both Ukraine and the United States, saying that there is this proposal on the table, supposedly crafted between the United States and Russia, there has been no official confirmation about a framework for peace from the Ukrainians, from the Americans, or from the Russians. So we don't know if this proposal is legitimate, if there is, in fact, something on the table being discussed. What we do know is that a top American official, the U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, is in Ukraine. He is set to have high-level meetings today, including a sit-down with the Ukrainian president. So there is a lot of concern, a lot of talk, again, at the possibility that a peace proposal was crafted without Ukraine's involvement and without Europe's involvement. And that is what we heard from the European Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas today from Brussels.
We as Europeans have always supported is a long-lasting and just peace, and we welcome any efforts to achieve that. Of course, for any plan to work, it needs Ukrainians and Europeans on board. So this is very clear.
So obviously, Europeans are looking for just and lasting peace. Those are 2 phrases we have heard continuously almost for the past 4 years now. But there's also concern that if there was a deal that was crafted between Russia and the United States, it would require Ukraine to give up not only territory, but as this 28-point plan has been reported, potentially also limit the scope of the military. Now, this is something that is being talked about in Ukraine. People are concerned that there might be a sort of push for capitulation. Ukrainians are saying that is just not acceptable.
Не вважаю ці умови прийнятними і не думаю, що навіть якщо така домовленість там умовно буде досягнута на рівні керівників держав, що це буде сприйнято людьми, що це буде сприйнято військом і тими, хто вже багато віддав і віддає за це.
Я не знаю, чи Зеленський піде на такі умови. Я сподіваюся, що ні. Звичайно, ці умови неприйнятні для України.
So we don't know either if Zelensky will accept this, if there will be any sort of official confirmation from the Ukrainian leadership. Right now, there is a lot of talk on top of a lot of fear and concern as the search at that one site of that missile strike continues. Linda?
And Crystal will continue to follow that, as well as any comment from the Ukrainian leadership throughout the day. Thanks very much for this. This is Crystal Gumansing in London.